You know, if this show just never ends, I feel like this show has a shelf life, but honestly, I'm sitting here saying if this show never ends, if it actually lives up to Cobra Kai Never Dies, you know, I'd be the happiest man in the world. Season 5 of Cobra Kai is now all available for you to stream on Netflix right now as of this past weekend. I, of course, sat through all of it the first chance I could possibly get, so let's dive right in. And following the shocking results of the end of the previous season at the All Valley Tournament, where, spoiler alert, Terry Silver pays off the official to have Tori Nichols crown the women's champion, this new season finds Silver expanding the Cobra Kai empire and trying to make his no mercy style of karate the only game in town. Man, an old out-of-touch individual trying to expand a monopoly? Yeah, we haven't seen that before anywhere. But with John Kreese behind bars and Johnny Lawrence setting karate aside to focus on repairing the damage he's caused, and also to focus on his own family, it's all up to Daniel-san himself, and he must call in an old friend for help. None other than Chosen. So I was honestly shocked to see that this was not getting the traditional New Year's treatment as the previous seasons of Cobra Kai have received, but I was more than welcoming towards it because this is one of my favorite shows on television right now, legitimately. I just love the nostalgic factor. I love the original Karate Kid film, and I love these warring factions just all coming together in just big battles. And I think Season 5 may just turn out to be one of the strongest seasons yet. Mainly because it's not only got the comedy, for sure. If you're somebody who's sitting there and you're watching the first 10 minutes thinking that it's just the stupidest thing ever, I do know a few people like that who turned the show off 10 minutes into Season 5 because they thought the dialogue was just so cheesy. Guess what, guys? That's what the Karate Kid is. Season 5 was a total blast from start to end. The comedy in here is still top-notch. William Zabka is still marvelous as Johnny Lawrence. There's a whole sequence in here, not to get too deep into spoilers or anything like that, but there's a whole sequence in here where he basically has to go job hunting. And this whole montage basically encapsulates the customer service industry beautifully. But Johnny Lawrence, freaking great. Daniel-san, Ralph Macchio is still a freaking genius. He is still wonderful in this series. The acting quality has not changed here. Courtney Henggeler, I mean, Tanner Buchanan as well, Xolo Mariduena, Mary Mauser, everyone is just on top of their game. But if you want to talk about comedy, Chosen freaking steals the show. I loved seeing him return and seeing him interact with these kids and teaching them very valuable lessons about teamwork. There's a whole sequence where he takes over Miyagi-Do for a day, and he's basically forcing all these young people to not just focus on themselves, but to defeat a greater enemy, they have to work as a team. That's what's so amazing about Cobra Kai. It's like, it's so stupid, honestly, but the lessons that it's teaching is kind of like, I don't know, it still hits you deep. Maybe that's still the nostalgic factor kicking in from the very beginning. I freaking loved seeing John Kreese once again, played by Martin Kove, and he gets a lot of really amazing character work to sink his teeth into. I don't want to say he's treading the line between good and evil or anything like that, but seeing him stuck behind bars, in prison, and not in a dojo or anything like that, it's something to see, and I think Martin Kove deserves all the credit in the world for the work he put into the season. But man, you want to talk about villains? Let's talk about Thomas Ian Griffith. Fantastic showing here as Terry Silver. This guy is just so intimidating, and he comes off legitimately like a cult leader. He shows up at charity events, and he's very welcoming, and he's very womanizing and flirtatious and all that stuff. But then behind closed doors, if you cross him, you are dead meat. And we're introduced to a whole new era of Cobra Kai right from the premiere. They have high tech now. They have a smoothie bar. They have ellipticals and all this fancy stuff. It legitimately feels like Cobra Kai is coming off like a cult now, because these kids are sucked into it and they're just transfixed by what Terry Silver is dishing out to them. And he wants to expand his vision not just to the valley, but to the world. Cult-like mentality. And honestly, that's honestly as villainous as it gets when it comes to Karate Kid stuff. Now, the biggest surprise for me and the character that I related to the most this entire season was Tori. Peyton List has come such a long way since she first appeared in Season 2. but the character work that she gets to sink into. Did she win this tournament legitimately? Does she fit in with this dojo that basically handed her a victory? She has a big old chip on her shoulder. She doesn't feel like she earned the victory. And I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers besides that, because oh man, this is a heartbreaking and gruesome and honestly a very beautiful arc that she goes through. And you gotta give all the credit in the world to Peyton List for her dedication into this. I really think she captures this character marvelously, and I cannot wait to see her in future seasons of Cobra Kai, as well as other projects that she does down the line, because honestly, I think she has a lot of potential. I think everybody in this cast, like I said, is on top of their games. Xolo Mariduena is of course great as Miguel, going into his stints as Blue Beetle soon enough. Even newcomers like Dallas Dupree Young as Kenny is so fun. And of course, you gotta have a few fun moments of Hawk thrown in there, played by Jacob Bertrand wonderfully. Hawk may just be my favorite character of this whole series. Oh my god, he's fun. So even though Cobra Kai Season 5 is one of the strongest seasons so far, that's not to say it's without its flaws in my opinion. And yeah, honestly, I was scared this was gonna happen, but there's a few soap opera-esque angles that are thrown into the mix involving some specific romances. Some of them hit right close to home, for sure, especially as it goes with the older, more nostalgic cast. But the high school drama, oh my god, is certainly there. And yeah, I was scared this was gonna happen. I mean, it's not treading into Glee territory just yet, but it is treading that fine, fine line. And one other question I had is, honestly, why is this season released now, in September? Why didn't they take the time to actually fix some of these small technical flaws that I had with this season, and they actually do release it on New Year's? Honestly, I feel like this season would have been a lot more polished if they actually waited a few more months. Because some of the editing in this season is quite inexplicably garish. There'll be points where the camera will be zooming in on a character's reaction to another character that's talking to them, and it'll be some of the worst dubbing you'll ever see. Like, I swear, I'm not making this up, guys. It was just like, I couldn't believe it. This is coming from a show that has immaculate technical values, and they've proven that. The fight scenes are choreographed so incredibly, and they're all shot insanely well, too. There is no shaky cam to be found in these fight sequences. And it just feels like the more Cobra Kai goes on, the more brutal all these fights get. The more blood that's spilled, the more bones that are broken. They really do know how to escalate this conflict just based on sheer violence. But they also never lose the heart of what Cobra Kai is all about, and it never really loses the whole essence of why we love this show. It's fun. And if they want to make more, I am all for it. I, for one, hope Cobra Kai never dies, as I said at the top of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and give Cobra Kai Season 5 an A. Man, if you thought this season was cheesy, if you thought previous seasons were cheesy, you're really not gonna be a fan of this. But let me know what you thought of Cobra Kai Season 5 down in the comments section below. And I don't think I've asked this in any of my previous Cobra Kai reviews, but who is your favorite character? I would love to hear all of those thoughts and then some down in the nifty comment section below, because I love what I do here. I love talking about all these fun topics in television, movies, and all things entertainment. So if you want to continue discussing all these fun topics with me further, do consider becoming a channel subscriber by hitting that nifty red button down below. Also, tap on that bell so you don't miss a second more of the action. And feel free to hit that thumbs up on your way out the door. Go ahead and smash it as hard as you possibly can. That would be insanely helpful. And stay tuned for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. We do have a couple of new releases in September which look very interesting, like Don't Worry Darling starring Florence Pugh. You also have The Woman King hitting theaters, which I hear is getting some pretty good reviews as well. So definitely look forward to those topics and much, much more. Y'all are the best, guys. And with all that being said, back talk commence.